Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Back to it, a return. It's Monday. Happy Monday. My voice, I can tell my voice is a little off. Did some celebrating over the weekend. Bachelor party weekend, Champaign, Illinois. We drank lots of beers, ate some good steak, threw some axes, drank some more beers. Stayed up past my bedtime Saturday night. Woke up a little tired on Sunday morning. Little tired yesterday morning. I powered through. You know, it's an easy drive to Champaign from Madison. I didn't realize it was the first time I've been to Champaign in 20 years. 20. Last time I was in Champaign was for Pearl Jam at Assembly Hall, now called the State Farm Center. So it was like April. It was end of April. I'd just started working in Macomb, and that was like, I think every real job I've had, always coincides with some big event that I have going on. So during the interview, I'm like, but I can't work this day because I've got this on the schedule. I had Pearl Jam on the schedule. Last time I've been to Champaign, my buddy, most of the guys that were there went to school there, went to U of I. Just a couple of us did not. So they were all talking how much it's changed. I've seen that with a lot of college towns, even here in Madison. And even though my first time in Madison was when I moved here in 2014, just in listening to people who have been here, oh my God, campus has changed so much. And I know Illinois State down in Bloomington, that's changed so much. I didn't go there, but I partied there a lot. It's whoa, I don't remember this. Macomb hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed in Macomb at Western Illinois is Adams Street. They've torn down all the houses on Adams Street. It's I saw a video last week. They were driving down Adam, Jesus, there's the whole block is just grass. Used to be party houses lining the streets. But there's no like in Bloomington and probably in Champaign, and I know here in Madison, there's all these big fancy, so you can tell which colleges are prospering. Western Illinois not prospering. So yeah, we were in Champaign, easy drive. It's literally 4-lane. So with the exception of my first 2 miles from my house to the Beltline, and then the last 2 miles getting off the interstate in Champaign, driving downtown. It's a 2-mile drive. 4 miles of the how many ever 100, 200 miles it is was all interstate. So super easy drive. I think, did I have to make any turns outside of the first and last mile? I think in Bloomington, I had to take an exit. Bloomington is and I've done that. I've been there 100 times. And I still get confused. I did well. I didn't miss my turn. Did not miss my turn. So we'll talk about when you're in your 40s, bachelor parties are just chill. In your 20s, I've got bachelor party stories that I can't share on Hobby Evolution. But in your 40s, it's my wife, what'd you do? And usually say, oh, you can't tell your wife what you did at Bachelor. Well, I can do play-by-play. When you're in your 40s, you can tell your wife every second of your bachelor party because you just sit around and talk and drink beer. That's what you do when you're in your 40s. A little different when you're in your 20s. No, we hit the hotel bar for a drink. Went across the street. We had reservations. That's another thing you don't do in your 20s. You don't have reservations for dinner. Hell, you probably don't even eat dinner in your 20s at a bachelor party. So we went across the street. I can't remember the tavern name. Great food. Had the steak frites. They're amazing. I did something that I don't know if I've ever done this when I order a steak. So half the guys, there was 8 or 9 of us, I think 8 of us. probably more than half, probably five of the 8. We ordered steak frites, and I ordered mine rare. And my buddy looks at me and he's like, rare? And I'm like, well, here's why. I prefer medium rare on my steak, but more on the rare side than the medium side. So instead of just like explaining that, I just order it rare because most restaurants overcook their steak. So if you order medium rare, it tends to come out medium. If you order it medium, comes out well done. Nobody wants a well done steak. So I ordered my steak frites rare, and guess what? They were cooked to my perfection. Chef's kiss. So I think I'm just going to do that trick. Just order a steak rare. If I get a rare steak, a true rare steak, I'll fricking eat it. I'll eat rare steak. But most likely it's going to come out medium rare. Harlan in the house. What's up? Good morning. Johnny Boy Cards is here. We've got David. What's happening? Victor's in the house. Good morning. Mark Marinello. Great Hobby Palooza weekend. I did not catch. I was on the road the whole time. I was shipping Saturday morning, so I did catch Hobby Hotline. And then once Hobby Hotline ended, I had to get stuff ready to go. And I heard that John Keating and who else was on with him? Cooter were on at, I think, 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. So I was like driving, but I had to stop and get gas, which that was poor strategy on my part because gas is actually, it wasn't that much more expensive. I think I filled up at $3.39. I think in Wisconsin, it was like a dime cheap. So I spent an extra, $3 on gas. So it wasn't that bad. Sometimes it's like 50 cents difference just between Illinois and Wisconsin. So when I was at the gas station, I turned it on. So I had half of their show on. That was all that I caught of Hobby Palooza. And I like catching those live. So if it's content that I consume regularly, I'll go back. But otherwise, it's just like I'd rather watch it live and be able to chat. I like to consume like I don't go back. I missed I had the Cubs game. Cubs and Cardinals were in London this weekend. I had some of both games, Saturday and Sunday, because I was driving when they were on. But I won't go back. If I miss a Cubs game, I don't go back and watch it because it's I don't know. I'd rather I'm either going to consume it live or just tell me the Cliff Notes. John says, what was your axe throwing war? So we threw axes. I have never thrown axes. My buddy owned a few axe throwing businesses, and I'm a terrible friend. I never went. So my first time, the strategy in axe throwing, I didn't realize. So basically, every sport is axe throwing a sport. There's strategy involved. Anything where you throw something, it's all in the wrist, right? It's all in the wrist. It's not in axe throwing. I was shocked by that. So we get a little orientation when we sign up and okay, pick your poisons. We ended up each of us got an extra tool to throw because if you I smell something. I don't know what it is, what I'm getting a whiff of. It's not my coffee. So we got the Ninja Stars. There's a couple of those. There's a tomahawk. The only thing we didn't get was this. It sounded awesome and it looked awful because it was this huge thing with this basically a little throwing star in the middle of it. It's how in the hell? No. So we didn't get that. So the guy's, doing our orientation and he's like, you want to step up to the line, hold your axe, go straight up, boom. And you don't want nothing with the wrist. I'm like, interesting. So we did some practice throws. I hit it. hit the target like it's stuck both times, both practice throws. So then we broke up into teams and we played. And my first time, bullseye. Yes. 6 points. And then it was up and down. From then I think I missed 3 in a row. One of the guys that was with it, I felt bad. I think he only hit had it stick like once out of like 50 throws. And you could tell he was very upset. He was visibly upset with his throwing abilities. I was like in the middle. I had beginner's luck, and then it was just kind of very average. Basically, my life, the life of Bo, an average dude, just very average. I'd go 3. I'd hit bullseye, and then I'd go 3 or 4 in a row with not even hitting the target, and then I'd hit a bullseye, and then I'd go 3 or 4 without hitting a target, and then I'd go 2 or 3, getting outside the bullseye, and then I'd miss, and then I'd make, and then I'd miss, and then I'd make. Very average, a very average axe thrower. But I'd say a war of 1. I was definitely better than a replacement, but not by much. Not by much. I was not negative war. I was just there all day Friday. Son had registration. Oh, cool. Yeah, Victor's son going to U of I. Uncle Rich, good morning. Here is the spiel. Like button, enjoy the chat. Thank you, Uncle Rich. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, all that fun stuff. JW in the house, good morning. Yeah, so I don't have anything to talk about today. So we're going to have to really, it's either going to be a 15-minute show, if there's nothing to talk about in the chat, because I don't really have much to talk about. Like the bachelor party really was drink beer, eat steak, drink beer, throw axes, drink beer, go to sleep. Which is good. That's my kind of bachelor party now in my 40s. It's like when we had a group text, and when I saw the words, it's just going to be a chill night. Oh, thank God, because that's what I like now. I don't like crazy shenanigans. I like chill. John with the worst comment of the day. We're just going to end the show with that. Pearl Jam top 5 overrated bands of all time. That's a bullshit comment, John. That's terrible. Terrible. Top 5. Top 5. Good morning, Angel Baby Cards. Rich says subscribe for a real life hobbyist experiment. Comment, the chat makes the show go round. Yes. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. Oh, there is something I did want to talk about. I think Ed put out a poll on Twitter that I want to touch on. Where are we at? There we are. Let's see. David says, last time I was in Champaign, Illinois was 1978. I saw a Journey concert. Believe it was their first headlining tour. Wow. Journey in 78. Was REO Speedwagon? Were they? That might have been just a little before. I think REO Speedwagon was, I think they went to U of I. I think they're from like Rockford. Or maybe they are from Champaign. REO Speedwagon. Somebody Wikipedia that for me. Pearl Jam is the boy band of the Seattle Sound. Come on, Zach. Oh, the takes this morning. My goodness. They had some great songs, but more commercial than others from that era, so they get a bad rap. Who is better, STP or PJ? Similarities. I mean, I'm biased, but Pearl Jam. Uncle Rich says, we went to a 1 p.m. Rangers game and then a steak place for an early dinner in my 40s. Yeah. So I was still in my 30s at my bachelor party, and we just we all met at my buddy Scott's out in the far northwest suburbs. Rented a limo to take us down to Wrigley. So we just drank in the limo and went down to Wrigleyville. The Cubs were home, but we didn't go to the game. I said, I don't want to go to the game. I just want to bar hop. So we went to the Brick House, which is next to the park at Wrigley, and it's like connected. And then we went to, where else did I think we went to Sluggers. We did the Papa Shot and batting cages. And then where else did we go? Did we even eat? See, I don't think we ate. I don't know if we had dinner. And I think Cubby Bear might have been the last stop. Yeah, and then we hopped in the limo and drove us back out to the suburbs. Let's see. How old was I at my bachelor party? Let's see. We would have been 6 years ago, right? 6 years ago. 35. Wow, I was young. I had 10 years of bachelor parties, got paid for it somehow. Oh, hey, hi-yo. Dan in the house, what's up? Is it pronounced frites? That's what everybody I've heard call it. Steak frites. F-R-I-T-E-S. Frites. I've never heard it pronounced a different way, so I assume it's pronounced frites. Good morning, Alex. Good Monday to Ziggy No. What's up? Zach says Keating was on with Jeremy Lee and the sports car dad. Getting gasoline is such a gamble these days. Roulette. I know. Could pay the price. Rich says those were the only two I watched on Saturday as well. Ed is here. Good morning. So Ed's here. Ed had a comment or a tweet the other day that I found interesting. What type of video hobby content do you feel is underrepresented and would prefer to see more of? And then you can comment if there's something not on the list. I thought this was a good lineup here. Oddball set reviews, collecting tips and advice, collector interviews, and sports card history. Now, this is certainly each individual has a different opinion, because oddball set reviews to me does nothing for me. Like, I wouldn't consume content about oddball set reviews. Collecting tips and advice, I think I don't feel that's underrepresented, but it's content it gets clicks. It is content that gets clicks, and I always like hearing other tips and advice because we can all learn from that. So I think while I don't feel it's underrepresented, I feel like I would watch more tips and advice content. Collector interviews is hit or miss. It just depends on what the collector is collecting. You know, if somebody's collecting racing cards, NASCAR, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to consume that content. But if it's Cubs collections, I'd probably consume that. Sports card history, and that's what I voted. Sports card history, and that is winning the vote, or won the vote. It's winning the vote. 35.1% said sports card history. Second place was oddball set reviews, 26.3%. And then in a tie was collecting tips and advice and collector interviews, both earning 19.3%. Were there any comments? Baseball card collector went with, he said he loved the choices, went with sports card history. Ken voted for collector interviews. Let's see. And Ken makes a great point in his comment. I voted collector interviews. There are plenty that do these, but in general, it's the same people over and over on different shows. I agree with that 100%. It is. You kind of have the same, and I think that's probably just more with people who do podcasts. It's like when somebody goes on like I notice when somebody has me on a show or a podcast, like I'll go months without anybody asking me, hey, do you want to talk about your Cubs collection on my podcast? Yeah, sure. And once I appear on that, then I'll get like 3 more inquiries. Like it's like boom, it's boom or bust. So, and I think that's why we see the same people, but on different shows, because once somebody goes on one show, all of a sudden it's like, oh, we got to have this guy on, and it's like a domino effect. Mark Hoyle voted for oddball set review. And then he said sports card history would be number 2 on his list. Herman wants all of the above. Cooter voted history with oddball set number 2. In many cases, the stories of oddball sets are the history of sports card. Oh, that's a really good point. And John says, you really going to make me add 3 more Twitter accounts so I can vote for all. Learning is paramount to the listener and more importantly to the content creator. And that's a good comment as well. So yeah, I voted sports card history because I loved, like, when Dr. Beckett and Uncle Rich come on, like, I will listen all day. I love reading old hobby magazines. You can learn so much about the history of the hobby. Shane Koopmans, what's up? Good morning. God is great from the rising sun in Japan. Good afternoon or evening to you. George in the house, what's up? Philly Joe is here. Good morning. John says, I always thought it was Fritis. That was my guess. Fritis? I've never heard that before. Let's see. MD Sports Cards is back. It's been a bit for the live. Welcome back, Max. Welcome back. Zach and Porter says, don't insult Hobbypalooza by comparing it to a Cubs game. Hey. I wasn't able to catch any Hobbypalooza, but I very rarely consume content on the weekends. That's a good point. Rich says 2 words in axe throwing. Ed Ames. If you don't know, go to YouTube. I'm going to have to look that up on YouTube. Let's see. Dan says, regarding the smell, check your pants. I don't think it's my pants. I just took a shower. God is great says, Sherrykins, your lawn is burning. Hey, speaking of lawn, we got rain. My wife texted me Saturday night. It must have been a slow Saturday night for my wife. It's raining. Great. I don't have to run sprinklers tomorrow. But I got home and when I texted her, hey, I'm on my way, she said, okay, good. It's raining. Okay, awesome. I don't have to run this. So I'm like excited. It's like I left Champaign Sunday morning and it was like 85 degrees, sunny. I get to Madison and it's cloudy, overcast, and 68. And it was like 93 when I left on Saturday afternoon. Like, what in the hell is, like, I'm wearing a hoodie. I wore a hoodie yesterday. I get home. I take Biscuit for a walk. I wear a hoodie on my walk. Saturday, I was sweating balls. And now I'm wearing a hoodie. That's the Midwest. So, we got a little rain. We went to the house yesterday afternoon. I'm like, oh, it's raining. Because I didn't get to see it. It was cloudy. When I got home, it wasn't raining. It was just cloudy. I haven't seen rain. What was the Kid Rock on? I haven't seen rain in 3 damn days. Oh, or the sun. I can't remember. Anyway. So it was raining. I haven't seen rain since like May, early May. So I did not run my sprinklers. We got enough. We didn't get enough rain. We need a lot more. Grass is still very brown, burned. So I don't think it's cloudy today, but I don't think it's going to rain. So we'll probably have to run the damn sprinklers. Went to the new house yesterday. Our new finishing carpenter had to hire a new guy. Did I talk about that Friday? Probably talked about that Friday. So he was there and doing great work. Not as nervous. We were getting very nervous. Not quite as nervous. Carpet's going in today. Painters come Thursday, I think. This Hobby Evolution is gonna look a lot different starting Thursday of this week. So a lot of this background will be gone. Don't worry, Box 13 will still be with us for a couple more weeks in the background. Where is old Box 13 at? Over here, probably. There. Nope, that's Box 3. Box 3 is looking a little old and disheveled. So the movers come Wednesday to basically move my basement. So we had a cleaner come and get everything cleaned up for the carpet. I thought carpet people like did the pre-clean before they laid the carpet. Apparently they do not. We asked. They said no. So we had to have a cleaner come. So Saturday, so it looks nice for the carpet. And so yeah, like shit's happening. Finally. It feels like the first few weeks, like stuff happened super fast. And then it was just like Slow. And then there was like a burst. Like, oh, wow, we've got cabinets and islands are in everything. And then it's like, it looks the same for another freaking month. So this week, a lot of shit's happening. So closets are going in, carpets going in. It's getting painted on Thursday. We're just missing one deck railing. The interior of the porch needs finished. So I ordered 10 of these shelving units from Costco. Those are getting delivered this week. My handyman is putting those together next week. So I got to figure out where in the hell I'm going to put 10 heavy shelf boxes because I don't know if there's enough room in the garage. And I don't want to put them in the basement because all my shit's getting moved in. So I did not time that right. My timing was ideally, I would have been, but my handyman's not available this week. And so like ideally it would have been Costco shelves would have been ordered and in place, but we also had to have it cleaned. The logistics, and I worked in logistics, and that's why I hated it because it doesn't always work out the way we need it to. So ideally, in a perfect world, the shelves would get delivered after it was cleaned and before the movers came in. But it's hard to like plan this out. We didn't know like the schedules of these things like until it was too late for me to order. So I think I don't know. Wednesday is going to be kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants type of day, which is not ideal. Not ideal. We'll see how it goes. So Thursday it's going to look the background's going to look a lot different. So I've got a lot of shipping to do today, and then I want to get pretty much caught up on shipping today. So tomorrow I can spend prepping the card move because I don't want all of my cards to go. So I just need to make sure, okay, don't take these boxes. And then I've got basically it's easy. Like all of my inventory's in a space, but then there's other boxes that will be, inventory that I'll be listing in the next couple of weeks, along with like my Cubs cards that I don't want them to move. So it's going to be kind of a bitch, the next couple of days. Actually, the next couple of months are going to be a bitch. The next couple months as we prepare the move, my buddy's wedding, then the Madison Card Show, and then the National, and then I can take a breath in early August. So the next 5 to 6 weeks are going to be painful, but fun. Like, I mean, I'm moving into a nice house, the National, the Madison Card Show, a wedding, like all good things. It's just a lot of good things packed into such a short time period. Makes me stressed out. Tiger 727, good morning. Herman in the house. What's up, Herman? John says the only thing I can throw accurately these days is a hissy fit. I can throw a good hissy fit. Let's see. Where are we at? Another thing missing from bachelor parties in your 20s, compassion and empathy for fellow axe throwers. That's true. Like in your 20s, you're like, oh, you suck. What the hell's wrong with you? And it goes further than that, but I don't want to get canceled by saying things. But in your 20s, you say things. At least in my 20s, you said things. I don't know if you can get away with that today. Kyle, good morning. I got a kick out of your axe throwing tweeter. Bo doesn't do rubber mallets, but is now throwing axes. So, speaking of rubber mallets. So we were at the house yesterday and we were in my card room. And all of a sudden I trip on someone. What the hell? It's just concrete. What in the hell? There's somebody that's worked with their hands, knows what the hell something was sticking out of the concrete in 6 spots, like not a nail, but like a piece of metal in 6 spots across. I'm like, shit. So my mother-in-law was there and she goes, "Oh, you've got that mallet. Try to," I'm like, "That's not gonna do anything, especially my weak ass arms. It's not gonna do shit." That didn't work. So I don't know. So we've got to get that. I imagine you just probably take like a concrete saw or something and just chop it off. That's what she said. Where we at? Dan said something. What did Dan say? I saw the comment. Ario is from Champaign. Okay. Oh, where we at? You didn't go to Big Al's. Nope. Was not in Peoria. I drove by Kappa for those in the Bloomington Normal area. I always, whenever I'm driving that way, I always take a picture of the exit sign for Kappa. And I'm like, maybe I've got time for a lapper at Kappa. If anybody's been to Bloomington Normal knows what Kappa is. Did not go to Kappa, did not go to Big Al's, did not go to any strip clubs. We can talk about that amazing Braves versus Reds series over the weekend. Felt like playoffs. How about those Reds? My goodness. It's hard for me to be like, I love rooting for these like young, exciting teams with hot prospects that are playing well. It just sucks that they're in the NL Central because I don't want to root for them. I can't root for them. Right? I mean, basically the Cubs, if the NL Central sucks with the exception of the Reds in the last 4 weeks, and the Cubs have played well the last couple of weeks. But if the Cubs are going to get a playoff spot, it's going to be winning the division. JW, here you go. Do you remember Mr. T cereal? Hell yeah, I do. Heck yeah. Be honest. Did you take a nap Saturday afternoon? So do you mean Sunday afternoon? I did not take a nap because because I slept in until like, I don't know, 8:30, which is late for me. I did not take a nap when I got home. I got home about what time? 2:30. But I did lay on the couch like the entire afternoon, night. I got home and I knew I had energy just because I had a 3.5 hour drive and I just wanted to move around. Like I've been sitting for the last 3.5 hours. I need to move around. So I took the dog for a walk, came back, and I'm like, okay, I've still got a little bit in me. So I'm like, I'm going to go over to the house. My wife's like, I'll go with. So we went over there. We were there for a little while. And then I hit the wall. Went back home. I watched the Jelly Roll documentary on Hulu. It was awesome. It was great. I wish there would have been more of his music featured in the documentary. But it was great. And his story is fascinating. So his music is great. I love his music. My wife was doing some work on her computer and like, she's like, oh shit, I've got to do that. I'm like, okay, can I have the remote? So I'm like I went to Hulu because I wanted to watch that. And there's like a horror movie on Hulu that looked good. So I'm reading it and my wife goes, please no horror. I'm like, I'm just reading the description. So I put on, and she's like, what's this? Like, it's Jelly Roll. It's really good. She actually enjoyed it when she was paying attention. So I really want to get to it. He's playing Dubuque, Iowa in August. And that's like after I should be like settled in, not in craze mode. So I'd like to go over to that show. And one of the guys that was at the bachelor party, I was talking to him and I'm like, because my buddy, the Bachelor, he's big into country music now. He hated country music growing up. Like when we were in high school, he like country song, like we'd be flipping through the radio and like if I stopped on country, he would just, no, I'm not listening to that shit. And boom, click. And then all of a sudden we get into his truck one day and he went to like he was in an ag fraternity, like all, farm guys. And so for him not liking country music was just like, what? I'm stereotyping, I think. But then we get into his truck, I don't know, a few years ago and he had I'm like, the hell are you listening to country? He's like, I love it now. And I'm like, what? What happened to you? I think a girl. I think a girl got him into country and it stuck. Uh, country, his liking for country stuck. His liking for that girl went away, did not stick, which is good because now he's getting married to somebody. I think she appreciates country music. So I was talking to him about Jelly Roll. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I saw him. I didn't even. He was like open for somebody. He's like, you definitely should go to the show. Hey, speaking of shows, no Rockford show. No. Yeah, I guess there were a bunch of conflicts with the July 15th date. There was supposed to be a Rockford show in on July 15th. I would not, that's my buddy's wedding, so I was not going to be there. But yeah, I guess there was a bunch of conflict. I saw the Facebook post come over on I think Saturday night. And so I texted one of the guys on Sunday. I'm like, hey, what happened? So there's a bunch of conflicts. So the next Rockford / Janesville show will be, I think, August 20th. So I will set up at the Janesville show in August. So I just will not set up in there won't be any Rockford or Janesville shows until then. But I will be set up at the next Madison show on July 22nd. So I think I've got a leak somewhere in my coffee mug. I don't know if I'll have really any new. I hate saying this, but I probably won't have anything new in my boxes because I just don't have any time to devote to restocking in the next couple weeks. If Eddie Vedder were a Sox fan, we'd have a different opinion, I'm quite sure. No, I'd still love Pearl Jam. But I think my love of Pearl Jam is more so because Eddie's such a big Cubs fan. And you're kind of right. If he were not, and it doesn't have to be Sox or if it's any other team, I probably wouldn't have the love that I do. But he's like a diehard Cubs fan. So there's probably some truth in that. It probably does make me a bigger Pearl Jam fan because he's such a big Cubs fan. I won't disagree. Did my first card show in Portland yesterday. Was awesome. Excellent. Good to hear. How was traffic at the show? Because around here, traffic is really has hit harder than I think most people expected. Really slow shows, which is just kind of going back to pre-pandemic. Summer months are always slow at card shows outside of the boom times, early 90s, 1990, 1991. I bet card show traffic was really high in June. 2021, 2022, pretty high. Now we're back in the days of coming off those all-time highs. All of the shows, my traffic, I was actually pleasantly surprised with the Madison card show traffic last weekend. Was it down? Absolutely. Way down from April, down from May. And but I was still happy with the traffic I did have. I think traffic will be so if I were guessing, if I could take an educated guess, traffic wise for the July 22nd Madison card show, I think traffic will be similar to what June was. I think it's going to be down. But I think there's going to be a lot of money moving around because what I noticed last year was there were, and I mentioned this last week, there was a lot of money being spent, and it was like 80% of the money was being spent by 20. It was the old 80-20. 80% of the money was being spent by 20% of the buyers in the room. A small portion of buyers were spending a majority of the money, but they were buying a lot. And a lot of dealers left happy. Like I sold half my table, and that small amount of buyers were just hitting the show. A lot came in from Chicago because they were going out to Atlantic City in the ensuing days. They wanted inventory for the National. So hopefully now the National's not a flight away, since the National's just down the road in Rosemont. Hopefully we see that and maybe a few more buyers since the location is closer that they'll come in, buy a bunch of inventory, and make some dealers happy. John says, did you see Topps UK has released an MLB London series? Yes. In fact, I bought 2. Somebody in my Cubs chat tweeted out or sent in a group Twitter chat the link. I'm like, hey, this is cool. I'm like, I'll probably kind of like what I did with the World Series. I bought 2 boxes and I kept one open, or I opened one and I kept one sealed. So I'll probably do that. I'll open a box and I'll keep one sealed. Let's see. John says 78 Journey was great. Greg Raleigh era. Cheap Trick from Rockford. There, I knew one of those bands was from Rockford. Damn it. What the hell? There's no, at least I'm in my house when this happens. There's nothing worse than when coffee leaks out of like the lip. Oh, I freaking hate that. And of course, I'm wearing a white freaking hoodie, so I'm going to get coffee stains on my goddamn shirt. But at least I'm here and I'm aware of it. But sometimes this happens when I'm driving out. In fact, last summer, I know it was summer because I was wearing a white polo, stopped at Dunkin', and I'm taking a drink, and all of a sudden I get like right here. Like this is all white right here. I'm like, shit. I'm like, you know what? I'll let it slide. Take second drink, plop, plop. So now I've got to race home and change freaking shirts because of the damn coffee. I don't know why that happens. It's just not sealing correctly. Let's see. REO is from Champaign. Cheap Trick from Rockford. Victor says the lead singer went to Brother Rice in Chicago. REO Speedwagon. Very nice. Alex loves Pearl Jam. Nirvana is in my top 5 overrated list. Okay. I don't think I would put Nirvana. I don't think I would put Nirvana in an overrated list. I mean, they would be like way down any overrated list for me. My overrated list: AC/DC, Rage Against the Machine. Who else is on my overrated list? Those 2 for sure. I tweeted, and some of them are hot takes, and those actually might be hot takes for some. But AC/DC and Rage are like 2, like when they come on the radio, it's like click, I'm done. Baseball had a couple crazy games this weekend. Angels beat the Rockies in 4 innings. College World Series Game 1, extra innings. Game 2 was a repeat of Angels-Rockies. John says every bar Bo went to every bar Bo went to for his bachelor party sounds like a Pride headquarters. There is nothing wrong with that. The Brick House, Cubby Bear, Sluggers. Where else did we go? I don't think we went to Murphy's. I don't think we went to Yaxie's either. That's basically like my Wrigley. Oh, and Nisei Lounge. We didn't go to Nisei. Those are like I have like 5 or 6 bars that I frequent. It changed in my 20s. It was pregame at Sluggers because one of my friends from high school, she was a bartender and hooked us up. So Sluggers pregame, postgame Cubby Bear. Now pregame, I've been doing Yaxie's because I love their wings. So do Yaxie's pregame and then Murphy's postgame. But I miss my Papa. I love Papa Shot in the back bar. So if you go to like Sluggers, you walk into Sluggers and it's just like, excuse me. It's so packed up front. And then upstairs where the batting cages are, it's so freaking packed. You go to the back. Once you get through the sea of people up front on the main floor, you go to the back bar. There's like nobody there. There's tables open. There's Papa Shot. There's a bartender. You just walk up, get a beer. If you're up front, you've got to freaking wait for a half an hour. I don't get it. If you're up front in this wave of people, all you have to do is walk through this hallway into like this emptiness of a bar where the bartenders are just waiting to serve you. And none of these people up front realize this. I don't get it. How does the word not get around? Go to the back bar, come back. If you don't want to hang out, because it is kind of dark back there, like the lighting sucks, which is okay. There's Papa Shot. Damn it. This freaking coffee mug, man. I'm just going to take the lid off. Put it over here. I think it's heavy enough. I'm not going to. I need it. I got coffee stain on my table. All right. Where are we at? Cooter, good morning. There's no such thing as too much. John Keating, we have to get him as famous as some other famous influencers. Yes. John says, shout out to Mark and the Mets for back-to-back bases loaded HBP. JW missed the Cubs game yesterday. I seen a blister, had the Stro show shut down, unfortunately. Yeah, I did watch, because I think it was a 9 a.m. game. I don't think I left until like 10. So I watched the first hour or so. I watched the Cubs I missed because I didn't realize it was a 9 a.m. game. So I missed the 4 runs the Cubs scored in the first inning. I turned it on. It was 4-0 Cubs. Yes! And then when I turned it on, it became 4-1, 4-2, 4-3, 4-4. Shit. Let's see. Mark says, thanks, John. I thought I'd seen it all with this team. Every day is a new adventure in frustration. Matt Bracken, what's up? Collection 1, cards 2, balls 3, bats 4, jersey 5, no 8x10 auto. Let's see. Japan and Korea in the same time zone. Oh, okay. I was not aware of that. Rich says, I guess $300 million does not buy as much as it used to. We need a Frank story or two before you move. Yeah. Frank had some people at his house doing something. He's getting some work done on his house. I don't know what he's getting done, but there's some workers there last week. I haven't talked to Frank in a while. He was out grilling last week and just did the old neighbor, hey, one of those. I was sitting on the patio. He was grilling. Good morning, Mark. AA cards in the house. Oh, Mark says that's $370 million. Did you add in the 1.3 million of Bobby Bonilla? Cooter says it's Fritz. You don't pronounce the E. Fritz. Steak Fritz? I don't like that. I like Fritz. Steak Fritz. Mark says, John, the only Journey I can listen to is their first 2 albums. Agree on your PJ take. Come on, Mark. Mark and John, what's wrong? Pearl Jam, not overrated. Where are we at? Shane says, going camping for about 5 days coming up this weekend. Does putting my store on vacation mode mess up the algorithm, or is it not affected at all? It is affected. It just kind of depends. I certainly see a significant drop when I've had my store in vacation mode. I think it also depends on how many listings you have, how many you sell every day. If you have a couple hundred listings, it's probably not going to affect it much. The more volume you have in your store, once you're up to 20, 30, 40, 50,000 listings, you're going to see a significant change. So it does mess up the algorithm. Here's what I do. When I leave on short trips, like say a weekend or a 3 or 4 day, I just turn off or drop it down to the lowest promoted. And that basically slows the traffic down enough to where I can handle when I return. It's basically it makes what's typically a 1 day worth of sales is stretched out over 3 days. That's basically every time I've done it here over the last, year. That's what's happened. John says trucking logistics is a simplified version of project logistics, many moving parts in project management. Yes, trucking logistics sucks. And I did it for 8 years. I liked the first 4 months because it was new and shiny. I see Pepino Man's in here. Shiny. Yeah, trucking logistics is Some people love it. I didn't. My business card says project manager oddly. Anchor saws all of them off. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I figured. I mean, I can't. I'm not allowed power tools. Certainly not saws. So yeah, I'll just whoever has a saw in the house. Hey, can you chop these things off? Angel Baby Cards. Now that I look back, club life at the time seemed forever, but in fact, it was a mere 48 months. Pepino Man in the house. Is this still Hobby Palooza? Hangover edition. Reppin' Rajon. Good morning. Mark watched Pepino. If the doc is unauthorized, then there won't be any licensed music. I think it was authorized because his music was featured. He did have some of the songs. Save Me was sprinkled throughout because that was kind of the. It was more the documentary was more about his upbringing and his struggles and how he's turned that into helping others going through the same struggles he had. So the music that was featured lined up with those subjects. Early Netflix was filled with Fugazi docs with no music. I remember those unauthorized Creed. I used to have that on VHS. Creed, the unauthorized story. You buy it expecting to get some Creed music. There's none there. Like, this sucks. As you get older, you transition from bachelor parties and baptisms to hospital visits and funerals. Yes, the unfortunate side of life. Country music today is not the country music of my youth. That's probably why I like country music now, because I didn't like the country music of your youth. But I like the country music of today. John says, did the ag fraternities have to get up before dawn? Can we blame them directly for daylight savings? I really don't know if any of those guys are. I think one of them's a farmer. Of the there's 8 including me, so 7. I'm certainly not a farmer. 7 do random things. I think only one farmer in the group. A couple guys had to leave, had to wake up at dawn, but they had to go to like a travel baseball game up in Chicago. So it's not really country anymore. Angel Baby says, country. Songs about lying, crying, and dying. They all evolve, Rich. R&B, rock, pop have all changed. That's true. Me and the wife are going to see Jelly Roll in August. Herman, yes, I should go. They're playing just like an hour and 15 minutes away from me. Hour and a half, maybe. Dubuque, Iowa. August, I think, 20th or August 17th. It's a Sunday night. So, yeah, I want to go over and see it. Let's see. Angel Baby loves me some hee-haw, but the new stuff is very different. John says, my new roomie is leaking all over the goddamn house. Hee-haw. Hee-haw. It's called They, Them, Haw Now. Didn't care for it much, though. Thee, thy. I searched the world over. I thought I found true love. You met another, and younger fart, you were gone. LOL. Shane says country is so bad I would rather walk across a football field filled with Legos barefoot than listen to that crap. Wow, that's a take. Not me. I'll listen the shit out of some country. I love all music has themes. Country music has the theme of growing up on a back road, a dirt road, drinking beers, losing your girl, all that. And I love it because I can relate. I can relate to drinking beers on a red dirt road. So I think it's relatable. Reminds me of my hometown, Anawan. Good morning, TD Sports Cards in the house. Pepino says, I got a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. She was killing me in that mini skirt. See? Country music. I mean, rain makes corn. Corn makes whiskey. Whiskey makes my girl feel a little frisky. Come on. You gotta love the country lyrics. I got a barbecue stain. That's another good one. John says Nirvana is the number one overrated band of all time. That's a hot take. I disagree. I think the Beatles are the number one over. The Beatles. That's my hot take. Good morning, Paul Heath. Starbucks wouldn't serve you coffee like that. Max, come on. Starbucks. Yeah. If you dismiss first Rage album, then you may be unqualified. Nirvana is overrated because they only produced a few records. Bargain Boxer Randy, did somebody mention Champaign? Yes, I was in Champaign, Randy. I was in Champaign this weekend. Bargain Boxer Randy says, any word on the October Peoria show? I may go like Friday just to check it out. I'm not going to set up, but I may go. Not sure yet. Soundgarden made Seattle grunge, not Nirvana. I like Soundgarden. They're probably not, I don't even know. I like Soundgarden, but I probably wouldn't put them in my top 5 of the grunge bands. Most overrated musicians. Number 1 by far, George Strait, says Max. Then Alan Jackson, Dolly Parton, and Tim McGraw. John says, I picture sluggers filled with people dressed like the singer from Judas Priest. Precisely one of the many reasons I don't use travel mugs. I hate them. Well, I didn't before, but today I do. It's not that thing. It's this thing. Because it's a screw-on. Oh, mother effer. Maybe it was screwed in wrong. Maybe it was an operator error. Okay, let's see. I think that did the trick. How about that? Congrats to Herman for FF2K hits. Freddie Freeman. Yeah, nice. Also, when in vacation mode, can you still accept offers and message people if needed, or does that take vacation mode off? No, you can have vacation mode, but make sure you don't like restrict sales. Like you have to allow sales, and it should automatically adjust the handling time for the amount of time you're gone. So yes, you can still send offers, accept offers, all that stuff while vacation mode is on. As long as you check the right box. John says, I see as much volume when away mode. I don't list during that period. Doing so may mitigate. Cooter says, okay, Gomer Pyle pronounced it Freets if you want. Bo doesn't one day ship, so you don't need time away if it's a night or two. Yeah, so like this weekend, like I was gone. I basically didn't do any shipping Saturday or Sunday, but Saturday, Sunday doesn't count for your handling time anyway, because it's a weekend. It's only business days. So typically when I'm gone, I'm only gone for a weekend. So if I do put like away, I won't put vacation mode, but I'll put like an away message on, which might be the same. I don't know. So if I do like a 4-day or whatever, if it's just a weekend, I don't mess with it. It's just same old. Angle grinder, maybe better tool for the less seasoned. If it has a cord, I probably shouldn't use it. Pepino is the best live content creator. Pepino man. Let's see. Shane does next day shipping mainly because I'm a kid when it comes to things being shipped to me. I don't like waiting days for things to get shipped. I want it in days. I always like country from the 60s to the early 2000s. The new stuff, not a big fan of, says Tiger727. Now I'm like cautious every time I take a drink. I always liked, I ship next day as well. I still have sales while a week for many days. Where are we at? What do you get when you play country music backwards? You get your dog back, your wife back, and your house back. Shane says, don't start with that effing rain song. My ears will bleed. Dunkin' and Starbucks aren't anywhere near the same level. Exactly. Dunkin' is way better. Starbucks is like shopping at Whole Foods. Dunkin' is dumpster diving. Also, coffee, most overrated beverage by a mile. Oh, my God. I should ban you from the channel just for those sentences. Starbucks sucks. Dunkin's great. I mean, Coffee, I mean, really, coffee wise, they're average. They're okay. I mean, in reality, like Starbucks is just overrated because it's expensive. Like I don't even know what Dunkin' costs, but I know Starbucks is a lot more, significantly. Let's see. John says Beatles were pioneers, went from cover band to pioneers in a few short years, and then overrated. Traffic at the Chantilly show was good, not great. Some dealers with great deals, others with pandemic prices. I'm surprised we're still seeing that. I've heard that a lot at various shows, and not just at shows I'm at, but I'm hearing it on social media as well. I don't know what's caught. Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. Angel Baby says, y'all, I'm a man of constant sorrow. Oh, brother, where art thou? Remember that time away is in Pacific time. That's a good point. What were you doing down in Champaign? Bachelor party weekend. My buddy who's getting married went to U of I. Most of the guys that were at the party were U of I, so it was like wanted to go back to their college haunts. Although I don't think we really went to any. Well, I heard most of the college bars like down on campus are no longer there. So we hung out downtown. We went to we stayed at Hyatt Place, and then went to is it Big Grove Tavern, which is across the street from the Hyatt. Had the steak frites. They were good. Then we went to the Axe Bar, threw some axes. And then we went to some other bar. Can't remember the name of it. And then another bar. And then passed out. Both request tips when I'm the one doing all the standing. Both pretty much the same price, $3 for flavored water. Starbucks does suck. It's definitely not worth $6 for a small black coffee while waiting 30 minutes in line to order. That's the thing. Oh my God. The lines at Starbucks are insane. Just remember, all coffee is bean water. That's a good point. People still wait in line for coffee. It's 2023. Yeah. When I was down at the Collecticon, we couldn't even get in to start. The line at Starbucks in the hotel was like, I guess you could probably order online, but who wants to do that? I want my coffee. Waiting for people to order there is impossible. Whole milk, but fat-free, made from almonds, only grown in the Indonesian mountains. Latte, whatever the hell. Yeah, right? Hey, we made it an hour. MKB man, any advice for us bumpkins on staying safe at the National in Chicago? Well, I'm going to tell you. The National's in Rosemont, which is an hour away from Chicago. It's about this. The National is about this. Just don't go to the south side of Chicago after 10 p.m. and you'll be okay. Yeah, there's no reason to not feel safe at the National. It's pretty suburban out in Rosemont. You'll be safe. Let's see. Even if you're in the city, even if you do some sightseeing in the city, you'll be okay. I promise. Again, just don't go out on the south side in the Lawndale neighborhood at 11 p.m. Let's see. Tim Hortons has great coffee. Yeah, Tim Hortons is good. We don't have them around here. But when we would play, when I was at the university, we would go into Michigan. We'd always get Tim Hortons. Give me a Diet Pepsi. I don't need the juice in the morning. Get a good night's sleep and you don't need shit. Disagree. I need that coffee. I get a good night's sleep and I still want my freaking coffee. I'm an addict. I need my coffee. The area around the National is not Chicago. Amen. 30 days, says Randy, the bargain boxer. Yeah, I'm getting excited. I've got so much other stuff. Like I don't get excited for the Nat. Like I know it's like a big thing. I get excited for Cubs convention, and everybody else is probably like, "Why are you so excited for Cubs convention?" The Nationals just like it's just. Am I looking forward to it? Yes. Am I going to have a great time? Yes. But it's just like I don't need to talk about it every morning. It's just it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. See me at the Singles Club digging through those dollar boxes. Shane says a good night's sleep for me is 4 to 5 hours. I need coffee. Yeah, I need coffee. I get great sleep. My wife's jealous of the great sleep I get, and I still need coffee. I can go without it, though. I didn't have coffee yesterday. That's because I don't like drinking coffee after I've had too many beers the night before. Throws me off. But I can, like, if I ran out of coffee, I'd probably go down to Quick Trip and get a, because I do need coffee. I think it's just routine. I also need to take a shower every morning. Like, I go out, say we have rain, and so my grass grows, and I have to mow the lawn. And I sweat, and I've got grass all over. I take a shower, say it's 7 p.m. At 6 a.m., I wake up, I'm taking a shower. Again, it's just what I do. I drink coffee, and I take a shower. It's what I do. Shane says it's my fault, really. Stay up till 2 or 3 a.m. Then my body just wakes up between 6 and 7. Plus, my dog whines to go out. Max says if you aren't getting 7 plus, figure it out. It will change your life. I get, let's see, say 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get between 7 and 8 hours. TD is the same. I get between 7 and 8. Angel Baby says, when Starbucks opened here back in 97, the coffee did taste very rich and tasty, but as the years passed, their coffee became overpriced, weak, instant pour-over shart. There you go. I loved Starbucks before I moved to a city that had them because it was like exotic. When I lived in Macomb, at that time, I think they have 2 Starbucks now. Had 0 when I was there. So it was like a treat when I went to the city. When I went to town, I got some Starbucks. Now it's like there's a Starbucks, and it's like, I don't want Starbucks. I want good coffee. Shane says, I can't go to bed before midnight. I'm weird. I feel like there's still stuff I can do before sleeping. Sleeping is boring. Would rather list cards or fish. I need my sleep. All right. So that's enough hot takes from Bo this morning. I'm going to take off, do some shipping. Got to run over to the house, see how things are going over there. I just can't believe there are people that buy coffee anywhere other than making it at home. Run the numbers, crazy money spent in that realm. Yeah, I do agree with that. However, there are times like the Madison Card Show. I don't want to make a pot of coffee and bring my mug. I'm just going to stop at Dunk because I'm going to get breakfast. I'm not going to eat breakfast at home. I'm just going to eat it in my car. So that's the only time I order coffee is when I'm on the road. Otherwise, if I'm at home, make it at home. But when I went to the office, I didn't order coffee. A lot of times I would make it at home and I would take my mug and then I would drink more coffee from the office coffee maker. I don't think probably in 8 years of working at the office, and was there a Starbucks over there? Yeah, there's Starbucks right across the street from my office. There's Starbucks, there was a McDonald's. I'd hit the McDonald's. Like if I ran out of breakfast burritos at home, I would hit the drive-thru at McDonald's, but I could probably count on one hand how many times I did that in 8 years. John, thank you for jumping on. Shane says I make it at home in the morning, but I'm out and about. I will buy coffee. That's kind of how I am. If it's an early morning that I'm driving to a card show, then it's hitting up Dunkin' and like the National. So when I go to the National, we stay out in Wheeling. It's a nice short little drive, 15 minutes down River Road. Hotel is basically right next to McDonald's and Dunkin'. And so I'll flip-flop. I'll do Dunkin' one day, McDonald's the next, Dunkin' the next day, McDonald's the next. Kind of go back and forth. Let's see. Herman says I was the same way with Taco Bell before they came to my town. Yeah, I've been that with a lot of places. Long John Silver's was like my favorite fast food. And then it came to Macomb when I lived in Macomb. And I had it once, and it's like, I'm good. Five Guys Burgers. I was like dying to have a Five Guys burger like close to me. One opened up right next door to Starbucks across the street from my office. I went there once. It's the last time I've been there, 7 years ago. What else? Starbucks. Now, Chick-fil-A is one that Chick-fil-A and Popeyes are two I still frequent. What's the other one? Chipotle. Been there once or twice. Chipotle, I feel, so I don't go there. There's a Portillo's that opened up just down the street. Went there once. Max, shut up. Popeyes is awesome. Max, what the hell? Popeyes is like the greatest fast food ever. My goodness. Shane, thank you. Popeyes is amazing. And the Popeyes chicken sandwich is the greatest chicken sandwich among all of it's way better than Chick-fil-A. And I love Chick-fil-A. And Popeyes chicken sandwich blows it out of the water. John says Bo promising safety in Chicago is like Bo promising clubs and bars in the playoffs. Clubs and bars in the playoffs. Keep that in mind. Red Bridge Sports Cards, good morning. John, do you not feel safe in Chicago? I feel very safe in Chicago. Let's see. CFA is the best. What's CFA? Chick-fil-A. Oh, yeah. I like Chick-fil-A. But I prefer a Popeyes chicken sandwich over Chick-fil-A every day. Let's see. Personally, I prefer to have coffee as I watch the live chat. There you go. Popeyes chicken sandwich isn't better than a What? What? Oh my God. That's not even like a McDonald's McChicken is not even comparable to Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. The McChicken. Little Nicky voice. Popeyes chicken is the shit. Sorry, but the spicy strips from Popeyes kills Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A is still very good. Max, you are canceled. My goodness, Max. All right. I'm going to run. Now I'm going to go. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. eBay store is in the description. Link is in the description. Let's see. Join the Facebook group, Hobby Evolution on Facebook group. Search it in the Facebook search bar. We've got some great conversation going on in there. Almost 300 members with some great advice, tips, all that good stuff. So I'm out. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow.